Hello everyone, welcome to Yoga with Claude. My name is Claudia and today I'll be leading us through a flow for mobility. I like to call this my morning mobility flow. I like to do it first thing when I wake up, when my body's feeling really stiff after a night of sleeping, but feel free to do this at any time during the day, especially if you're feeling very stiff in your body, maybe if you're a little bit sore from a previous workout, or if you're just looking to improve your mobility and a little bit of flexibility. All right, we'll get started in a seated position. You can take a cross-legged seat on your mat, sitting up straight with the spine. Close the eyes for a few moments. Like always, we're just gonna start with a little bit of intentional breathing. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. Taking these first few moments to slow down, connect to your body, noticing if you're holding any tension anywhere, noticing where you may be feeling stiff, being aware of your inhales and your exhales. Let's take one more deep breath in together here. And deep breath, sigh it out. Open up the eyelids here. Inhale, reach your arms up high to the sky. Big stretch up. Exhale, float your right hand down. Reach your left arm up and over for a side body stretch. You'll get to hear the lovely sounds of the city traffic throughout this video. It'll just help us to practice keeping our inner peace and calm. Take another deep breath in here. Exhale, we're gonna float our left hand down, reach the right arm up and over, side body stretch, deep breath in. Exhale it out. Let's take one more inhale here. And exhale, come back through center, crawl your right fingertips behind you, grab a hold of your left knee. Gaze over your right shoulder, take a deep breath in, straighten through the spine. Exhale, find your twist. Take two more deep breaths in here. One more time. Exhale, bring it to the other side. Grab your right knee, crawl your left fingertips behind you, gaze over left shoulder, inhale. Straightening through the spine here, and exhale, find your twist, releasing. Two more deep breaths here. Two more deep breaths here. And we'll make our way back through center. Roll over your knees. Find a wide-legged child's pose here. Knees come wide to the edges of the mat. Sink the hips back. Crawl your hands forward. Forehead comes to the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. One more deep breath in here. Exhale, press up onto your elbows, keeping your knees wide. We're gonna take big wide circles of the hips. So come forward up onto the elbows and then press the hips back, moving in a circular motion. You can take this very slowly. If there's a really sticky spot here, feel free to hold it there or continue with those slow circles, beginning to open up through the hips. And then let's reverse that circle. I find my hips crack a lot when I do this. And then we'll press back to our child's pose. Deep breath in here. Exhale, press up to your tabletop. Align your knees underneath your hips here. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Curl your toes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly peel your hips up towards the ceiling. Finding your downward dog, pedal out the feet here. If this is your first movement of the day, this might feel really tight, so be gentle with yourself. Slow movements. See if you can find some stillness here now. Draw your heels towards the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. See if you can draw your chest towards the tops of your thighs. Opening up through the upper back. Feeling that opening along the backs of the legs. Let's take another deep breath in here. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, reach your left leg up to the sky. Doesn't have to go all the way up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, we're finding a pigeon pose. Bring your left shin up towards the top of the mat and begin to sink your hips down. If this is hard for you, you can place a block underneath your hips if you have one, or a blanket folded up. Inhale, see if you can find some length, come up onto the fingertips here. Exhale, make your way down onto your forearms or make a pillow with the hands finding an opening through the left glute muscle, also finding an opening through the hips. Take one more deep breath in here. Exhale, begin to lift yourself back up. What we're going to do is sit back on the hips, rotate our body so that we're facing over our right leg here. So you can bring that left leg in a little bit. Facing our right foot is flexed. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold over the right foot. Just finding a simple hamstring stretch here. You don't need to touch your foot at all or your toes. Just seeing how far you can go, finding a nice stretch through that right hamstring. If you can reach your foot, your toes here, and you're looking to add a little bit more of a stretch, you can grab the outside of your left foot with your left hand, and that will add a little bit of a twist. You might feel it in the upper left back here as well. Finding what feels good for you today. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, we're gonna rise back up. Reach your left arm up and overhead, and then side bend over towards your right foot here. And our left hand absolutely does not need to touch that right foot, but that's the general direction that it's going in. And see if you can keep your upper body lifted, almost as if you're rotating your chest up towards the ceiling. Right hand can really go wherever's comfortable. You're feeling this beautiful stretch and opening along the left side of the body. Take one more deep breath in here. Exhale, rise back up. Plant your left hand behind you. We're going to lift up into our hips, kind of like a modified wild thing. Reach your right arm back behind you. Open up through the entire front side of the body. One more breath in. And exhale, lower. We're going to make our way back through that pigeon pose on the left side. Curl your right toes underneath you, lift your right leg, and then step back to your downward dog. Pedal it out. Find stillness here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Next, inhale, right leg reaches up high, three-legged dog. Exhale to find our pigeon pose on the right side. Pull the right shin up towards the top of the mat and sink the hips down. Inhale to find a little bit of length here. Exhale, begin to crawl your way down to your forearms. Again, you can place a block underneath this hip if it can't quite reach the mat, or if there's a little pocket of air, that's also all right. Stretching into the right glute now, opening up through the right hip. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, come up onto your hands, finding that lift. And then we're going to sit back on the hips, pivot the upper body so that we're facing our left leg for that hamstring stretch. Flex the left toes here. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, find that fold. Noticing if there are any differences between the sides. For me, my left hamstring is much more flexible than my right for some reason. Just strange because I'm right-handed, but I don't know. So if you'd like to add a little bit more to this stretch, you can grab the outside of your left foot with your right hand, kind of adding a little bit of a twist. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale to sit up. We're going to take that side bend stretch now. So reach your right arm up and overhead. And then we're going to side bend over to the left side. Right fingertips are reaching towards those left toes. And now the little reminder to open up that right shoulder, keeping a little bit of activity in that upper body so you're not just flopping over the leg. And that'll also allow you to find more of a stretch through the right side, as well as through the right shoulder and chest. Take another deep breath in here. Exhale, come back up through center, place your right hand behind you, and then push off of the hips, pressing into that knee, finding that modified wild thing. Reach your left arm back behind you, kind of a counter stretch here. One more breath in. Exhale, come back down. Find your way back to that pigeon pose. Ooh. From here, sit back on your hips. We're gonna take a straddle pose. So extend both feet out to the side. They don't have to be all the way out to the side, really as far as feels comfortable. Flexing your feet here. We're just gonna begin to crawl forwards, and maybe just a little bit of a bend is as far as you can go. This is quite an intense stretch, but just see how far you can go. And when I'm doing this in reality, I like to kind of move around from side to side, just kind of explore the space that I have, see where my body will let me go, maybe finding a bit of that hamstring stretch over one side and over the other. And then maybe you can finally settle in the middle. It also helps if you have like a block you can lean your weight into. Just holding here for a few breaths. I know this is quite an intense one. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhale, we'll crawl our way back up through center. Shake out those legs, nice job. Pull your legs in. We're gonna make our way back to a downward facing dog. Curl the toes, press the hips up and back. Pedal it out. Nice job. Find your stillness. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, reach that right leg up high to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands, drop your back knee. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead for a low lunge. Exhale, sink the hips down here. A few options, you can keep your arms extended up high. You can just place your hands on the knee. We're looking to find a stretch through that left hip flexor. So really sinking the hips down, but without letting that right knee go at all over that right ankle. Actually, we want it to be straight in line. If you have your hands reached up high though, take one more deep breath in. Exhale, we're all gonna float our hands down to the mat. Press your hips back, straighten that right leg, finding our half split. Let's find a flow 3 more times doing this. Inhale, come forwards, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, float it down, press the hips back. Nice job. Again, inhale, come forwards. Exhale, press it back. One more time, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, find that half split, drawing your forehead towards your right shin. You can have a bend in this knee if you'd like to, making sure we're flexing our right toes. More of that nice hamstring opening. Take another breath in here. Exhale, come back through that lunge. Heel toe your foot to the outside of your mat. Plant your hands, we're finding a lizard lunge here. Take a few moments to explore this shape, opening up through that right hip. If you're looking for a bit of a deeper stretch, you can come down onto your forearms. You can even lift that back leg. And this will add a bit of a stretch through the left foot as well. We'll hold here for a few moments, finding that movement, finding that opening through the right hip. If you have your knee lifted, drop your knee again, come up onto your hands. Stay here if you'd like to find a quad stretch. Begin to bend that left knee, and then we're gonna reach around with our right hand and grab a hold of our left foot. Gazing over top of the right shoulder. You can pull in your left foot for as much of a quad stretch as you'd like here. Nice, let's take one more deep breath in. Exhale to lower, plant the hands, curl your back toes, lift your left leg, and step back, downward dog, pedal it out. Nice job. Let's take it to the other side. Inhale, left leg reaches up high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands, drop your right knee. Keep your hands on your left knee here. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. And then everyone's gonna settle down into that lunge, sinking into the hips here. Deep breath in. Exhale, float the hands down. Press your hips back, straighten that right foot, half split. Let's flow through this a few times. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, float it back. Inhale, move it through. Exhale. Let's do this one more time. Inhale. Exhale, find your half split. Hold here for a few breaths. Draw your forehead towards your shin. One more breath in here. Exhale, let's make our way to that lizard lunge. Heel toe your foot to the outside of the mat. Plant your hands. Explore this shape here. Maybe you come down onto the forearms, curl the toes, lift the leg. Maybe you stay high. Wherever you are, finding a little bit of movement, really exploring that left hip space. Nice. If you have your knee lifted, drop it back down, come up onto your hands. Option for a quad stretch, bend that right knee. Reach behind with your left hand to grab a hold of that right foot, gaze over your left shoulder, pulling in that that foot as much as you would like for a quad stretch. Beautiful, take one more breath in. Exhale, lower your hand and foot down to the mat. Lift that right leg, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, nice job. Find your stillness, take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forwards. Exhale, make your way towards the top of your mat, meeting in a forward fold. Grab opposite elbows here and let yourself sway side to side, finding your ragdoll. Maybe shaking the head yes and no, decompressing the spine. Then on your next inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise to standing. I'm gonna get cut out for a moment or two. I apologize. We're reaching our arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center in a prayer position. Step your feet wide to the edges of the mat now. We're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold, slight bend of the knees here as you begin to fold. Toes are pointed inward slightly, feet are wide. And then you can release your hands, explore the shape here. Rocking side to side as you make your way down. And we're gonna take a twist. Grab a hold of your right ankle, reach your right arm up to the sky. You can create as much of a stretch as you'd like here by pulling your upper body into that right leg. You should find a stretch through the legs here as well as through the upper left back area. Take another inhale. And we'll switch it to the other side. Grab a hold of that right leg. Reach your left arm up high to the sky. Take another deep breath in. Come back through center. Reach both hands behind you. Interlace your fingers together. Press the palms together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then draw your fist towards the wall in front of you, lowering your forehead down towards the mat, opening up through the chest and through the shoulders. Take a few deep breaths in. And then gently release your hands back down to the mat. We're going to come into our Skandasana, a really low lunge, bending into that right knee. Begin to pour all your weight into that right foot. Heel will come off the mat. Flex your left foot. A few options here. You can have your hands on the mat for support. You can find a twist, planting your right hand, reaching your left arm up and overhead. You can also bring your hands to a prayer position, finding a little bit of balance. We're gonna find a little flow here, but first let's get it over to the other side. You can use your hands to help you here. Crawl over to the other side, bend into that left knee, flex your right foot. Again, maybe your hands are placed on the mat. Maybe you reach your right arm up and overhead. Or maybe you find that prayer position. So up to you how you want to flow between these two sides. You can always bring your hands down to the mat to help you crawl over or to help support your knees. If you want to practice a bit more balance and strength, you can have your hands at your heart center as you move from side to side. Take this in whatever way feels right for your body. This is really good for hip mobility, really good for strengthening the knees. We'll do it one more time each side. Beautiful. Now plant your hands back down to the mat. Find your wide-legged forward fold. From here, heel toe your feet in a little bit wider than a little wider than hip width distance apart, toes pointed out. Sink your hips down. We're finding our yogi squat here. Hands can come to prayer. Using the elbows to press the knees apart. Nice work. Take another deep breath in here. And exhale. Sit back into a seat. We have one more little hip mobility routine here. So we're going to bring our left shin up towards the mat like you're coming into a pigeon pose, but this time your right leg isn't extended, it's also bent facing behind you. So like both of your knees are at a right angle here, a 90-degree angle. Place one arm on top of the other, and then using the muscles of the glutes, we're going to lift the hips to come up onto our knees. Beautiful. Sit back down here. If you can, without your hands, you can also place your hands on the mat. We're going to rotate our knees so that you're facing the other way. Okay, your right shin is facing the front of the mat. Both knees are at a 90-degree angle. And same thing, press into your hips, into your glutes, lift the hips up, and then come sit back down. We're going to take this a few times. If you need to, you can place your hands behind you to help you rotate. For a bit of a challenge, you can try to keep your hands lifted. Really working the mobility of the hips here. Beautiful. Let's take this one more time each side. And then sit back down. Extend your legs out in front of you. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take another inhale. Exhale. Rise on up to seated slowly. We'll make our way down to our backs. Scoot yourself forward. See if you can lower with a little bit of control here. And then pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rocking side to side. And then find a happy baby. Grab the outside soles of your feet. Pull your knees into your chest. Rock side to side here. Beautiful. Place your feet back down onto the mat. We're going to take our spinal twist. Extend your right leg out long, pull your left knee into your chest, and then guide it over to the right side of your body. Extend your left arm out to the left side, gaze over that left shoulder. You can also place a block underneath this left knee if it doesn't comfortably reach. One more deep breath in here. Exhale. Come back through center. We'll switch sides. Extend your left leg. Pull your right knee into your chest. And then guide it over to the left side. Extending your right arm out towards the right side. Gazing over that right shoulder. Find your supine twist. more deep breath in. Exhale, roll down, extend your right leg. Extending your arms and legs now, finding our Shavasana. Feel free to take whatever final poses you feel you need. This will be a short Shavasana today as we are gearing our bodies up to get going, but just taking a few mindful moments before we resume the rest of our day. Just check in with your body, noticing how you're feeling now. Noticing if you feel a little more loose, a little more open in the body. Now take a deep, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Extend your toes or your fingertips away from each other. Feel free to stay in the Shavasana as long as you need, or curl your knees into your chest. Grab a hold of your shins. Rock back and forth up and down the spine a few times here. And then make your way to a seated position. We'll finish up class together. Bringing your hands over your heart or in a prayer position. Taking one last moment to check in here to finish up class. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you are able to move throughout the rest of your day a little bit easier with a little bit more fluidity and grace. Take a moment to feel gratitude for yourself for showing up to your mat today. And let's finish with a collective breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.